Men of Reddit, which hobby is a big green flag in women?
If she's passionate about her hobby, that's already a green flag. But I guess if you're asking for a big green flag, then it's something she is not only passionate about but also can share with me. Something that we can do together without it costing me too much to pick up and without my dragging her down by participating. I might not end up loving it as much as she does, but if she offers to teach me, I'll give it a try. Honestly, most anything beyond just scrolling Instagram, YouTube, and sleeping is a green flag hobby for anyone to have. Sometimes, some extreme hobbies like mountain biking, rock climbing, or kayaking through a deserted river may not be preferred by everyone to have as a hobby of their partners, but it makes an individual more attractive nonetheless. Just off the top of my head, gaming, hiking, martial arts, go-karting, cooking, painting, swimming, and so on. Reading books. Being on dating apps for a while, you'll soon discover that every single girl's profile will state they love to read. Then you start dating them, and none of them read anything but what's on their phone. Women I've dated who regularly read books are always more down to earth and so much easier to get along with. At least, in my experience. For me, apparently making dumplings. My now ex, we broke up for other reasons, mostly because it just wasn't working out, and I had our first date, and I figured, well, that was nice, but it's a one and done. She was a very petite Chinese woman, with, at the time, a rather thick accent. I figured it would be too hard to carry on a conversation with her. Anyhow, she calls me up a few days later, asks if I could come over and help her with a few things. Turns out she needed to have a couple of light bulbs and such replaced, and at 4 feet 10 inches she was simply too short to reach them. I changed them for her, and in thanks, she fed me homemade dumplings that she had made. We were together for almost 10 years after that. It's interesting to see the different perspectives on what hobbies are considered green flags in us women. Hobbies can reveal so much about a person's interests and values. Personally, I believe any hobby that showcases passion, curiosity, and a sense of adventure can be attractive. Whether it's painting, hiking, playing a musical instrument, or even coding, the enthusiasm and dedication someone brings to their chosen hobby can be quite appealing. I actually think the biggest green flag is just having a hobby at all. Back when I was not married, it was shocking how often you'd meet women while dating who claimed their hobbies were that they like to travel, spend time with friends, and go out to eat. That's just code for entertain me. Everybody has fun doing fun things. These people tend to be dullards who are mostly interested in keeping up with whatever is trendy and otherwise just expect you to make their lives interesting for them. Having an actual passion that you put time and effort and creativity into is the green flag. I think the best ones are the ones that point to some amount of work and achieving mastery rather than ones that involve just passively taking something in. Literally having any hobby. You have no idea how many women I've talked to who just borderline exist. They have no hobbies, follow nothing, have one friend, don't go out, don't work out, don't try to better themselves, literally do nothing. It's insane. It's so attractive when somebody is passionate about something and actually tries to involve you in it. It gives you both something to talk about, enjoy together, or just be able to support them with. Then there are the ones who literally just try to do really bad art as literally their only hobby. Sneaky red flag. Art as a hobby is actually a small red flag for me. I'm in an art school, and all the women I've met there are great. All the ones I've met outside of school who do art usually have some issues with or about it. A lot of the time, they either put me on a pedestal and ignore their own thinking, or they were the artsy one in their school or friend circle and feel the need to do art as a consequence. It just feels super fake to me. One person I was with was an attention hound with art. She'd pester me with, "Oh, I feel so uncreative, I should do a painting, what do you think?" I'd ask, "Do you want to do a study with me?" And she'd say, "That's too much work, I'm too lazy for that." I think art just has too much clout behind it to weed out the actual hobbyists from the clout chasers. I think my major red flag is overposting on social media with their work. It's great to be proud, but other artists know that once you actually start studying, you'll at least be apprehensive about what you post. For me, I hate posting work. Only about 1 in 5 goes up on Instagram. First of all, I think genuine interest is important. Not taking up an activity because it's trendy or for social media. Not saying, for example, girls who go to the gym regularly then post on social media are not genuine. In fact, I respect that considering I've tried to go to the gym before but struggle to be consistent. I'm just saying those who do it for themselves and don't announce it are much easier to consider a green flag. And TBH, this doesn't only apply to girls. That said, I think some hobbies that I feel are green flags are ones that include art and wellness. I've gone to design school, and taking into account the first point I made, the girls who have genuine interest in drawing, painting, photography are usually very pleasant. Man, my ex-girlfriend really didn't have any hobbies. She'd tell people all about her baking, knitting, etc., but she never actually did these things, at least not more than once every few months. It was so exhausting dating someone who just watched Netflix all the time. She'd get upset if I went to play video games, and she didn't like that we played D&D every other week. To answer the question, reading and cooking are the biggest green flags. I am never dating another woman who can't cook. It's a paramount life skill, and it feels really good to have someone cook you a meal. Honestly, any genuine hobby that she is passionate about. This has actually been a big topic of conversation in my friend group for the past couple of years. My best friend and I are both rabbit hole chasers. What I mean by that is we are interested in many things and we like to do deep dives into our interests. We are both musicians, mountain bikers, and hobbyist engineers. We also each have plenty of interests outside these common ones. I've been with my wife for almost 15 years, so I never really thought about it. My friend, on the other hand, has been in the dating scene more recently. He has mentioned that when he's talking with a woman, if she does not have any passionate interests or hobbies, he considers it the biggest red flag. In his experience, women, or anyone, I guess, who don't have hobbies or interests are more likely to fill their time with wasteful and unhealthy relationships, gossip, drama, partying, etc. I can't say that I have had the same experience, but what he says makes a lot of sense to me. He swears that he has never been proven wrong. If I were to ever enter back into the dating scene, I think I would follow this formula and be turned off by someone who does not have any genuine interests or pastimes aside from other people and/or watching TV and lurking on social media. Confidence is attractive, so I always like it when women have a maybe embarrassing or nerdy hobby they're obsessed with. Not, like, going to the gym or yoga or liking festivals, or something. That's universally considered a perfectly normal, admirable thing and not even slightly interesting. I want someone who's really into Star Trek, or Lego, or knitting, or building Victorian clothing, or roller skating, or some weird video game, or board games, or dinosaurs. Something they want to visit museums about, learn everything about, even if it's considered embarrassing. Something stupid that they love and they don't care what other people think. Someone who has the confidence as an adult to tap into that inner child and be excited by something silly. Really, anything that can keep her occupied and fulfilled by herself. I love a good conversation and some good intimacy, but in my experience and those of my male friends, way too many women seem to expect their men to be the primary source of entertainment. I like fishing, running, hunting, gardening, woodworking, foraging, lifting weights, video games, hiking, camping, building fires, all kinds of other stuff that I wish I could get into but don't have the time. My wife likes online shopping for household essentials and reality TV. That's about it. She could sit on her phone or the TV and not leave the house for 2 weeks and be okay with it. Which wouldn't be a big deal if I didn't get grief every time I wanted to go out and do my own stuff because she wants me to be with her as she does basically nothing. Not the intended recipient of this question since I'm a woman, but assuming this is about potential romantic partners, I'll apply it to platonic friendships as well. Basically anything except social media and bars, clubbing. I don't blame people for not having hobbies nowadays, to be honest. Some people just don't have the mental energy or stamina to do much outside of work, eat, sleep, etc. I wish it went without saying, but being boring doesn't mean they are necessarily dull or bad people. However, I've noticed women who tend to make their entire personality revolve around drinking, clubbing, bars, etc., tend to be pretty brain dead and shallow. The same goes for social media obsession. It sucks the soul out of people. Cooking. I know it's become a red flag for women because some of them see it as a form of slavery because of the so-called patriarchy, but when you meet or become aware of a woman that loves to cook for people and not for the gram, you can see her selflessness and genuine feeling behind feeding people. I was watching a TV show on NHK years ago. This is the Japanese station presented in English in the States, and they were interviewing a woman who was very proud of her pots and pans and went on to say these beautiful words about how she enjoyed the happy faces people had after she had fed them. It was just a punch to the face of genuine humility and this form of wanting people to be happy that didn't involve any form of self-promotion. I always think of her. She just seemed so kind and thoughtful. Now, it's like, forget about it. We need to throw a parade to go with the parade some women throw for themselves online if they put things in an air fryer. She's so brave. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on the best Reddit stories.